Welcome to our introduction to what the flipped classroom is not, its benefits, and anything that we feel will be useful for you in getting a handle on what will be going on in your son or daughter's class. This is non-traditional. It is different than you and I learned. It's a different technique as our world is continually changing, trying to keep up with the times. What is a flipped classroom? The flipped classroom is an intentional shift of content which in turn helps move students back to the center of learning rather than products of the schooling. What this does, it helps us maximize the time students spend with their teachers and peers in class in that one-on-one and small group setting that students do learn better within. What does it look like? Some of the key things about it. We'll talk about what it looks like throughout this, but students in a flipped classroom become active learners as opposed to passive recipients. They have high expectations on them. They are to gather some of the information in various ways prior to coming to class, and then class activities depend on that. The learning then belongs to them more. They do have more pride in their learning typically. Teachers act as guides, leaders, facilitators, tutors, anything you can imagine that can go on during class. We get more time to do those types of things instead of just throwing facts and things and examples on the board and making students copy them down. We're working with our students more as opposed to just talking to them. Like we said, the information delivery is outside the classroom, benefits us in the class, as well as it differentiates the instruction in that students are able to work at their own pace, what works best for them. A common misperception of flipping the classroom is that teachers are doing it just to lecture once. Though I will lecture, put the video online, and students will watch it, take a few notes, ask a few questions. The learning will continue to take place during class. I won't have to stand up in front of the class for 35 of 43 minutes, and your son or daughter won't have to sit there for that time. We'll be working together as we work towards the ultimate goal of learning. They are part of an instructional model that include multiple strategies. It's not just the flipped classroom. We do incorporate traditional instructional strategies, but the key thing here is we as teachers get to spend more time working with our students in a small group setting. Where did this come from? Where is this flipped classroom coming from? Well, the movement began at a Woodland High School in Colorado. It started as teachers recording their lectures and posting them online for students that were absent. And it has evolved from that. Let's take a look. So as we see there, a lot of things talked about that was already stated, but again, it comes back to we're centering our instruction around our students, not around the teacher. The flipped classroom, we've talked about these. It's student-centered, technology-driven. There's differentiated instruction within it, a lot of collaborative learning, and we also blend in traditional instruction methods when they are appropriate. It's not some silver bullet that's going to solve everything. There's still going to be struggles. There's still going to be ups and downs, but it is an effective tool to help your students learn. Again, it's not going to stand alone. Some basics. The traditional classroom. In school, which happens first, there's a lecture or direct instruction of some sort. Students practice individually or in a small group for a short period of time at the end of the class. The bulk of this class is at the lecture and the instruction level. Okay, this we know was first. Okay, and then you go home. There'd be practice to complete, and some students may have limited resources available to them for this. They would not be able to complete their assignments, get frustrated, those types of things. Benefits here coming to the flipped classroom. At home, which happens first, they view the instruction in some sort of podcast, screencast. Take a quick assessment so I have an understanding of right at the beginning of class as far as what they got, what they didn't get, what little fires we need to put out before we get started with the activity, which happens second at school. We complete practice, group, individual. The teacher and peers are available for assistance. Some benefits. Flipping to the classroom, we've talked about a lot of these. We'll go through them here. When they're watching videos, students have the ability to pause, stop, rewind, review the lecture whenever they want. They will be online in various forms. They are front-loaded, so students can have classroom activities. They come to class with the background. They have more information. We're at a much better starting point. We can maximize that time in class. Materials are ready and prepared for students in this class. The video's already there. They take their notes, and then it's a lot easier to play catch-up. You don't fall as far behind when you're out of school. Students don't forget how to do the homework because they are actually gathering that information. They're not asked to complete problems. They're asked to gather information, write down a few questions that they may have on that information. They take more ownership because they're more involved. They're in their work. They work collaboratively with their peers constructively as well because it's math related. Some benefits for the teacher. Become more of a facilitator as opposed to the sage on the stage just throwing a lot of information out. We are trying to work with our students towards an ultimate end goal of them getting the most out of our class. We're able to maximize the instructional time available. We work with our students. They work with their peers. Classroom management issues. Students are more likely to be on task because they are working on something that they have an idea of what they're working on with their peers, and obviously with me available for any assistance there. Extra tutoring time, which will decline, which we know all our students, I'm sure you know, are involved in a lot of activities, so that would be one less thing that they likely have to do. And we do, students and teachers have been found to develop a stronger rapport, which is great for the learning environment. Some summary. Students are more active, work at their own pace. We hit multiple learning styles. We vary the instruction. There's a high degree of social interaction, and we do prepare students for 21st century jobs as we're working with technology and getting prepared for dealing with that in their future. Some disadvantages. The biggest one for students is sometimes accessibility to the internet. Computers at home outside the classroom can be an issue, and there are ways to work around that with various flash drives, disks, and technology here at school. Biggest disadvantage for me is the teachers creating the media library for the lessons. That'll be a long process for myself, but something that is well worth undertaking. How do we flip the classroom? Some things that you'll see, different things. YouTube we'll use Google Drive, Google Docs, Screencast-O-Matic to capture the screen, which is what we're doing right now. Different things that we'll use, and a lot of other technology that we'll use. How this goes is I create a screencast like this is and share it. I'll use YouTube, my school website, those types of things, and then students will take a few notes, ask a few questions, come to class ready to go. After that happens for me, I create learning activities that will go on during class. We do have to fit this to the students. It was well received by most of our students last year when we tried it for a couple of units. And then again, especially in class time, those activities are still definitely tailored to our students. I hope you have found this video informational, informative, and it helps alleviate any questions or concerns you may have about Flipped Classroom. It is something different. But if you do have any further questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to contact me. My email is zsarver@sharpsville.k12.pa.us, and this is a link to my website, which will have some information on the Flipped Classroom as well.